Hello. Um, I was asked to do a quick video on how to do PI stuff in our wormhole. So I'm going to show you very quickly how to do P2 stuff, making P2 stuff as much as possible on each planet. First thing is you've got to get some command centers. Make sure they're in your cargo. I've got 3 here. Second thing, this is fairly important, you don't have to go anywhere. You can sit on a station happily, don't worry about it. Cool, then we go to planets, and I've got a lovely spreadsheet here to show me what I need to do. So I'm going to set up livestock P2, getting lots of carbon compounds and complex organisms. So I was going to do that on planet number 7. Planet 7, where are you? This one here. Cool, click on it, go to view planetary production, this thing here. We'll open up the old planet window, and we're looking for carbon compounds and complex organisms. So let's go to scan. This is carbon, loads. Complex, there's quite a bit less. Not that much less, but it's still a bit less. Let's narrow this first. So we're looking for a good spot where we can get plenty of each. The most important one to get the most of is probably the one which is lower on resources, like carbon. Obviously it's a lot more than complex, so we're going to focus on complex. And then we'll think about carbon. So it's not a bad spot here, but it's miles away from anything else, so we're not using that. Go to complex again, maybe over here. Is there any carbon around? Oh, maybe it's just got to do this. Where's a reasonable spot? Maybe somewhere. None of these are great. Let's see. Honestly, let's just put it down any old where, like here is probably not a terrible spot. You can get them to overlap a bit. Alright, cool. So we get our temperate command center, and we'll put it down somewhere down there. It really doesn't make a huge difference where you put it, because we're not going to really use it at all, apart from upgrade it. So you upgrade it by clicking on it, go to the left tab thing here, and with CC4 we can get it to this level. That's what we want to do every time, and then press submit. I don't have enough money. I'm going to send myself some money. This costs a little bit of ISK, but it's paid back quite quickly. Okay, let's try that again. Upgrade and submit. Hey! Cool. Now we want to get these... Move. Crazy thing. Close all this crap. The extractor units, obviously for extracting stuff, so we want to work out the best place to put these. So somewhere where it will catch some of the bottom part there, and also some of the carbon down here, and also the complex up here. So if I were to put it like here, more or less, it would pretty much catch both of them. Yeah, let's put it one there, and then one slightly above the other one, nice and close. Press submit. Cool. Now this is an important part as well, putting down your buildings. We need a launch pad. Put it there. Ooh. And you want some basic industry facilities, the first level P1 maker facilities. 2 like that. 2 like that. It's a good habit to put these as close together as possible, otherwise you'll be wasting power grid, and that can be a problem on some planets. Cool, and now we want advanced pair of these. 3 of these. One there. And one there. And one there. You can see these are slightly different colours, so you don't make a mistake. These are orangey kind of circly things in the middle, slightly orange. These are more yellowy and a bit more complex looking, the cog thing. Press submit. To press submit quite a lot when you're doing PI. Cool, next we have to connect them all together with links. You can do it by clicking here, but I prefer holding control, clicking on something, and dragging. Easy. Now I can just left click, no control, right click. Left click, left click, left click, left click, left click, left click. Click, 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 click. A lot of clicking. Clicky, clicky, click. Alright, they're all connected. Now submit, and they're all linked up together. The extractors connect to the launchpad, and then these chains all also connect straight to the launchpad, to each other, and then to the launchpad, I should say. Cool, that's ready. Next we need to do the extracting part. So you click on one of the extractors, whichever one's closest to which resource you're going to get. So let's get this bottom resource first. So click on the bottom one, install extractor program. That was that carbon? I don't remember. Carbon and complex. Okay, complex up there, carbon here. So let's get the carbon from down here. 3 of these. Stick them in the middle somewhere. Close to the middle is better. We get more resources. And then we want to set these to, in my case, 3 days. I like 3-day cycles. The most efficient way you can do it with this setup, I think you can do it 100% efficient with 2 days and it'll get slightly more money. But I'm not going to worry about that too much. So put them in. Okay, so on 3 days, it'll get me 737-ish thousand. And I want these two to be more or less equal. So before I submit anything, I'm going to see how much I'm going to get out of the second one. 736 is the number. Double click on this, easy peasy. 3 days again. Oh, 1, 2, 3, back to 3 days. And this was, I think, complex. Yeah, that's complex. Put 3 extractor heads out. Let's see if I can get anywhere near 736. Oh, way more. Okay, this is good. So I'm going to set up these. Let's narrow this scanner thing to make it just nice and clear where the best. Yeah, it's pretty good, that spot. 909. So I'm going to start extraction there. Now remember, this was only 700 and something on the. I think it was carbon. Yeah, on the carbon. Here's a carbon. Yeah, 736,000. There's actually enough PG for you to do 1 more extractor head, but only 1 more for a total of 7 extractor heads. The exception is the gas planets. They can only ever do 6 because they're too big. So we're going to put 1 more extractor head on this one because it's slower than the other one, and we want them to be more or less equal. Okay, so we're getting 1 more extra extractor head, put it down here. Now it's 991. It's kind of close to the other number, which was 900 something something. And we're going to do start extraction. So just to check that, submit. Just to check that, this one is doing 998,000, and this one is doing 1,000,000. Oh, okay, it's a bit more than I expected. That's still really close. That's good. Cool. So that's ready. Now these are going to hoover up resources. Takes an hour, and then they'll go into here. But we need to route it so it actually does that. So click on one of the extractors, go on products, where it shows the product that it's getting, and it says not routed. That means you need to choose where it's going to go to. So double click, and then double click the launchpad, and it's routed. And this one as well, go to products, double click the launchpad, it's routed. And then press, of course, submit. You have to press submit all the time in PI. Cool, so in an hour they'll go in here, and from here we'll have to send them to the factories to make them into stuff. But for now we can save a bit of time by deciding where the products of the factories go, and we want the products of all these different 3 factory types to go back into the launchpad. So let's do that quickly. This first layer, let's call it, of factory things, we're going to use the carbon compounds to make biofuels. So let's click on one, double click on biofuels, double click on the launchpad. Cool, that one's ready. Click on a different one, double click on biofuels, double click on the launchpad. And again, double click on biofuels, double click on the launchpad, and submit. Cool, now those are ready. You can see if you go on products, they're routed. That means you don't have to do the routing later. I like to do it first so you don't forget about it. Same idea, we're going to do next. P1 is going to use complex organisms to make proteins. I'm looking at my spreadsheet for this, by the way. Proteins, double click, double click, double click the launchpad. Same again, proteins, double click the launchpad. And again, this one, proteins, double click the launchpad, submit. Cool, that's all the P1 sorted. Now just the P2, which is the end product. This one is livestock, so let's find livestock. Where is it? Livestock, it's going to be in tier 2 somewhere. L, here it is, L for livestock. Double click, and again, livestock, double click. One more time, double click, click. Cool, okay, now it's routed. Now we just have to wait for this product to get into the launchpad. Then from the launchpad we can send it to the P1s. So I'll pause here and then we'll come back in an hour. Hello, this is part 2. We're gonna continue our PI stuff now. Okie dokie. So we finished routing everything, we finished the extractors. They've been going for more than an hour now, hour and 10 minutes. So now if you look in the storage in the launchpad, there should be carbon and complex, which we've been sucking up with the extractors. Cool. Now the first layer, these three, the first layer of factories, their input is carbon. So we'll go to the template launchpad, go to storage, double click carbon, double click on one of those, and again storage, carbon, double click on one of those, storage, double click carbon, double click on one of those. Easy peasy, they're ready. Same idea but not with carbon, now with complex. Complex, double click on the complex factory. Complex, double click, double click, double click, double click, submit, and ready. Okay, same thing now. We have to wait. I think this is shorter. Yeah, this is 30 minutes, though I always wait probably at least an hour before these products are ready, and then we can do the same thing and send them from here, the storage, the launchpad, to one of the factories. So see you in a minute. Alright, back again for the final part. Something I forgot to mention before, I should probably have done before, is about the PI window. It's good to add it to your sidebar Neocom, so let's add it. Go here to the Neocom, then go to Industry, Planetary Production, this thing here, and drag that onto the sidebar. Brilliant, cool. So you can click it here, easy peasy, and it'll open up your planets. You can double click on these. Where's the planet we were just doing? This one. And I'll go to it. You can do all of this stuff, apart from putting down the command center. I think you can do everything from docked in the station, so you don't even need to undock, and you can do it anytime, super fast. Cool. Anyway, so these factories have been going for a while. I went to work and I've come back, and now they've been pumping out, what do these guys make? Biofuels and proteins. There should be plenty of those now in here. Yep, in storage. Proteins and biofuels, that's our P1 products. Now we're going to send those to the final stage, which is making P2 in these slightly more advanced factories. So what we need to do, click on the factory, check what it needs. It's asking for input proteins and input biofuels, as we expected. So click on the launchpad, click on storage, double click biofuels, double click on the factory. Same thing, proteins, double click on the factory. That one's ready. Cool. Same idea, let's put biofuels here, double click, and proteins, double click in here, and same idea, biofuels, double click, proteins, double click, submit. Cool, it's done. Now that'll pump out a bunch of P2, and it will keep going as fast as it can, producing P2 with all the raw materials that you get from the extractors until the end of the cycle. At the end of the cycle, which you set, I think we set 3 days, yeah, we were setting where did it say that somewhere? There we go, 3 days. At the end of 3 days, you'll need to come back to the planet, and it will have one of these red mark things, requiring attention things, and it will ask you to reset. Super easy, you just do that by, can I show you? Click on a planet. No, these are already running. No. But basically, you'll need to go on the planet, double click on the extractor, on one of the extractors, and then go to Start Program, it will say it here, or Start Extraction, and then do the same thing with the other extractor. Double click it and do Start. Make sure they're both going. I think they'll be red if they're not going, so that's fine. A couple tools, I should have done this at the start, but I'll do them now. A couple tools that might be really useful. First, to work out what's good to make. So here's a really nice site. It's called evehelper.tk. evehelper.tk. Basically, it's like a web of connections between the different products, what they make. This is the raw that you harvest. This is the P1 that gets made. P2 is what we're making, so it's this stuff here, and don't even worry about the stuff on the right. That's pretty crazy. Disco. You can mess with it a bit. So, for example, here it has the planets. In our hole, we don't have, for example, storm, so we can just turn it off. We don't have ice. We'll turn it off. And what we kind of want to do is work out what the best thing to make on a given planet is. So for example, if we want to make the best thing on a barren planet, barren are quite good normally, so you double click on barren and it will show you using just a barren planet you can make biocells, mechanical, nanites, CPUs and test cultures. And then you just hover over them and it will say, oh, biofuels, we need, biocells, we need biofuel and we need precious metal to make it, and it will tell you the raw material as well. Easy peasy, very good. About the value, now you can use this site to tell you the value. I think the best way, leave it on the jitter. I think this is a good option. Buy price per item, not per M3, that's correct. So I think this little number on the bottom right of each box is like the value, like it's telling us right now test cultures, not very good. Biocells, expensive, nice. Or mechanical parts are good, for example. Another way, I'm not sure how accurate that is or how quickly it updates or how often it updates. I think a better way maybe is to use a different dedicated site. Like here's evepiprofits.com. Go on Jitter, because that's the hub. It's always the most consistent. And then I think we sort by buy. Yeah, buy price is the price that you would sell it to a sell order, to a buy order to. So that's the number we want to look at. And then here it says they're all P4. We can ignore those. We can go down, 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 down. Yeah, the best P2s start here and go down. We're looking at 15k for silicate glass and polyamerids, and it will go down all the way to quite a lot less. Like here, polytextiles only 4k. So obviously that the price is a factor, but also how much of something you can produce is a factor. There'll be math. You just have to multiply how much you think you can make by how much a single unit is worth. And then you should have an idea of how much money each planet is going to make. I think that's almost everything. Alright, good luck PI. If you have any questions, talk to Kiwi.